Hey guys, Evan with Evan Does, and I just got done filming the video for smoking a pork shoulder. Hope you enjoy it. Hit like, hit subscribe, let me know as you're watching it. If you come up with anything that you want me to do, let me know in the comments. I'm up for trying anything. I got a few things going on right now. I'm going to make some different videos. Hopefully next video I put up is going to be making a piece of wall art I actually finished tonight too. So yeah, just let me know what you guys are thinking and enjoy the video. Hey guys, this is Evan and this is another episode of Evan Does. And today, Evan does smoking meats. I'm going to be doing a hickory chip smoke in my electric smoker. As far as smoking meats go, there's so many different ways to do it, so many different recipes, so many things to watch, so many things you can listen to. I mean, it's just booming right now. Everybody's smoking meats, and hopefully pick up some things that I do a little differently, or I'm a little more lax on things. Things I'm not going to be hard on is the smoking time, smoking temp. I mean, usually people are ironclad about that stuff, but as long as your internal temp gets to a safe amount, I mean, they'll tell you once it gets to 165, pull it. Some people up to 200, then you can pull it apart. It depends on what you want to do with your meat. I'm doing pork shoulder today, so what I'm going to be doing is smoking it for about 5 to 6 hours using hickory chips like sawdust in a pan on a electric burner. Again, if you have a Traeger that does the pellet feed, if you have the pellet biscuits, good on you. I mean, it's all going to taste the same. I used to do charcoal smoking, I did electric smoking, I've tried propane smoking. I worked at a meat market for 10 years where we did natural gas and hickory chips, and it all comes out tasting the same. So however much money you want to spend or how long you want to spend babysitting that smoker is up to you. I've done it on the grill with the side barrel smoker. So I've been smoking meats for 15 years probably, and with the pork I like to use, I already mixed together brown sugar, garlic, and black pepper. I'm going to put some coriander, mustard, paprika, some mace, and I already put the little bit of garlic in there, but you can always add a little more. I do have a grinder I'm showing off right now because I'm going to be doing videos later of stuffing and grinding meats, and I can put those in the smoker too, or you can do fresh product where you just put it into patties and freeze it, or you just leave it bulk in 1 pound packages and freeze it. For preparing for smoking, either you can do a dry rub like I'm going to do here, or you can use a briner and you can actually submerge your meat in water for overnight or a few hours. And again, either way, everybody's going to have their preference. Is it right or wrong? No, it's what you like and what you like to do. Some people like to have a bark on the outside of their meat after it's done smoking, so a thicker spice combination. Sometimes when you're doing the brine, the liquid can get in there. Some people have a pump where they actually pump liquid into their meat, which is popular with turkeys, but you can do it with any kind of meat that you're going to be smoking with. But I'm going to cut these open. I'm going to score the tops. I'm going to show you how I do all that. I'm not really huge on measuring because I've done this so much. I kind of just know what it takes, and if I have a little left over at the end, I'll just put it in a baggie. I'll make sure I don't use my hands on the meat and then put it in here, as you'll see when I do it. Not a ton of coriander. Nice thing right now is my kids are taking a quick nap. This stuff doesn't take very long. Hopefully I can get the rub on these. I can start up my smoker. I'm not letting the rub sit on there for hours and hours. It's probably going to be 10 minutes from when I put the rub on. I mean, it's going to be setting on the meat for 5-6 hours while it smokes. So you're going to have all the flavor, and then I'm going to be doing pulled barbecue pork with it. So it's going to have all the flavor. And a sharp knife, if you want to check your knife, you rub it on your thumbnail, and if it scratches, that means it's sharp enough. that butcher shop for a number of years, so nice knives. They usually cut through a piece of meat with one cut. You shouldn't have to saw on something to get through it. It should be one nice cut. So I'm scoring my meat. By scoring, it means you want to make it like a checkerboard. I like to leave a lot of the fat on there for flavor, but you have to score it so the spices and the juices can get down to the meat. Preference, I've done it a lot of different ways, and I like to do it this way. So the fat stays on there, but it's scored like a checkerboard. What that does too is it makes more surface area for the spices to settle in there. So you can score, you can make it smaller squares, bigger squares. So, and then the bottom I'll just leave because that's good meat. So again, it's better, nicer to use a sharp knife for that, and you don't have to saw it. It just one clean cut through, turn it, another clean cut through. So you make a checkerboard. Again, I'm trying not to, because I might have leftover rub. So I'll mix it up with my other hand. Be sprinkling it on. And the reason for this, why I'm doing this whole vlog series and just showing you anybody can do this stuff. I didn't measure these things out. I just, oh, that sounds good. That sounds delicious. Your base is always going to be salt, sugar, garlic, brown sugar, and then after that, play around with things. I got these 2 pork shoulders for, I think they're on sale for $1.50 a pound. So I got it for $15. So that's a lot of meat for that much money. So I use one hand to sprinkle it on, other hand to rub it in because that one already has the raw meat on it. So I mean, you're putting it on there pretty generously, getting inside all the grooves, nooks, crannies. Especially beef. Beef really soaks up salt well. You can easily over salt pork or chicken, so you don't want to go as heavy on the salt or spices. But if you're using beef, that can suck it right up. That uses it for flavor. So I mean that's pretty good. You can even go thicker on there if you want a thicker bark. 5-6 hours in the smoker is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to try to keep it at around 180 to 200 the whole time. After 5 to 6 hours, by looking at it, I'm going to wrap it in foil. I'm going to put it in my oven at 400 for another probably 2 hours. You want to get that internal temperature up to probably 250, because then that's when the collagen in the meat is going to break down, and that's when you can shred it. That's why in the crock pot, when you put a piece of meat in a crock pot, you want to get that internal temp up really high so the collagen, the fats, the proteins actually break down, and that's what lets you pull meat. And that's why stew meat really rough, you don't cut it and grill it for steaks. You want it to cook long and low, or high and not so long. Either way, you're going to be able to pull that apart easily. But this is already smelling delicious. As you can see, it looked like a lot of spice in the beginning, but I'll actually probably use all this. And I have my cutting board, my NSF steel table, and you don't need this. You can use a kitchen table, granite, whatever, anything non-porous, and just wipe it down when you're done. It can get a little messy. Trying not to make it too spicy. I'm going to be feeding a family. My wife and my kids don't like spicy food, so unfortunately I can't do it as spicy as I'd like to have it for myself. And yeah, I will use all that spice that I had in there, which was quite a bit. I'm going to rub it, make sure it gets everywhere, take a little extra off the table. As you can see, I got my hair cut now that the salons and the hair shops are open again, so I was getting pretty bad COVID hair there for a while. Alright, so I'm going to place them on my tray. That's what I'm going to bring it out to the smoker on. I'm going to get that all set up. I'll show you how that all goes, and throw it on there, turn it up, and we'll smoke some meat, and I'll go over that whole process with you too. From start to finish, right now, that probably took me about 5 minutes once I had all my spices ready. Score it, cut it, put it in the smoker. This stuff's easy. You don't, $1.50 a pound. The local barbecue place is selling pulled pork for, I think, $16 a pound finished weight. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I'll be making 14 pounds here for $15 total, and then you can pull it, you can put it into baggies. I have butcher paper, so I'll actually be wrapping mine and putting it in the freezer finished. So anytime I want a pulled pork sandwich, I can pull it out. Salads, put it in ramen. You can use it for a lot of different reasons, but bulk meats is always a great way to go. I know meat prices are going up right now, up and down. You always buy with the sales, throw it in the freezer. If you can't get to putting a rub on it today, you can put rub on it a little bit down the road. Been about an hour. Get a pretty good start on it. Good smoke going. It's not burning, it's just smoldering, so that's what we want. Alright, 3 hours in. Looking pretty good. Burner tipped over a little bit. Pull that up back out. This thing was in a pretty bad shape when I picked it up. Hey, so I just got done pulling the pork out of the smoker. As you can see, it's got some good color to it. And that's where I cut it also. Smoke got inside to the meat, not just to the fat, because we're probably going to be cutting most of that off. Put these in at about 4 p.m. It's about 11 o'clock right now. So I'm going to wrap them in foil. I'm going to put them in a pan full of water at 400 degrees for about 2 hours, and that's going to get them real hot, like up to 200, 250 internal temp. It's going to break up the collagen, so then when they're done I can just pull it apart, take the fat off, and then it'll be delicious pulled pork. Have some good meals tomorrow. Whenever I wrap them in foil, it's going to be open on the bottom. I just have it in the water. And then people are a little afraid sometimes that it won't have a bark on it, but actually it does retain its bark even if it's submerged in water and it steams itself like this for hours. Because when you uncover it again, it just, all the moisture comes off of it and it gets a bark back. So don't be worried about not having a bark on it when it's done, because it will. And you can always put barbecue sauce on it, pour more rub in it, and put it in the broiler for a little bit if you like that bit of chew or that bark on it when it's done. So I'll do another video when I pull them out of the oven. I wrapped it and let it rest for a few hours, so time to see what the product looks like here. Probably just pour the grease out in another pan. Got a lot of fat content, it's all water, so let's get anything. And then you still get your bark. If you want to stiffen it up, you can throw it in the broiler. But here it's pulling right apart. So there you go. There's barbecue smoked pulled pork out of a pork shoulder.